Alright guys, huge news from the unemployed. I got something to tell you guys, right? There has been a shadow nerf on challenges. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, did I say it already? Huge news for the unemployed. In update 5, the challenge system was revamped to where, was it update 5 or was it update 4.5? I think it was update 5. It had to be update 5, right? Because obviously it came, yeah, you know what? Let me finish, bro. Let me finish before I get irritated. Trying to remember. So yeah, they introduced a new system to their challenges to where you can choose between a reroll, you know, stat chips or essence stones, right? So you had 3 different challenges that you can do, but each had a 30-minute cooldown. So if you did the trait reroll challenge and you want to do an essence stone challenge, you have to wait another 30 minutes to do the essence stone challenge. I believe that's how it worked. Don't quote me on that though. But basically, there wasn't any type of restrictions on that, right? So without 2x, you're getting 2 rerolls per hour. With 2x, you're getting 4 rerolls per hour, right? And since there was macros that supported that, a lot of people would macro the trait reroll challenges when 2x came on, because that's when it was the most beneficial. And yeah, who doesn't love rerolls? I say this all the time. If everyone was given the opportunity to do it, they would 100% do it. There's like a small percentage of those who actually grind games out, like ATDs in general. So like, respect to those guys. If you're a streamer, you legit get paid for people to watch you play the game on live. I can see why you would grind that without using the macro. As for people who do long form content, I know a vast majority probably macros to keep up with the content, so I can see that. But the thing is that the rerolls were getting out of hand, and since the console players and mobile players don't have some type of leverage within that, PC players essentially can buy macros that supported that, like I said earlier, right? So they put a limit. Before that, the limit, there wasn't any limit at all. You could infinitely farm that all day, 24 hours long, right? But now there's a cap on it to where you're going to get 24 rerolls a day. Now, so without 2x, it takes 12 hours. With 2x, it takes about 6 hours. Basically, you just half it. That's, you know, simple math, right? So a lot of people are upset about that, and mainly the macros, right? And I can see why the developers, you know, put a cap on that to kind of control the macros, you know. I feel like in the early stages of Vanguards, when macros were trying to be prevented, it's really a losing battle with that. The developers, they can take the time to try to counter macros, but there's always going to be someone to counter that counter to counter the counter. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just something like it's just a losing, like a losing battle. So they was like, okay, we're gonna try to be more innovative, add more things to the game to make the game fun, you know, to where players don't have to say, oh wow, I got the new units, let's turn this macro, right? But now they realize, like, okay, we know we can't stop macros, it's always going to be a thing, but what we can do is limit what they can do, you know what I'm saying? So they don't have this full leverage against a player who doesn't have a macro. Now, Tiny Taz is accessible to those who own a PC, laptop of some sort, you know, but Tiny Taz can only give you so much, you know. If something goes wrong within your game, a lag or anything, the Tiny Taz breaks, right? It's just cooked. While there's advanced image detector macros that can easily, you know, fix itself, adjust it, basically play the game for you without you even lifting a finger. You can literally hit F1, take your socks off, take your shirt off, you know, go to sleep, turn the fan on, you know what I'm saying? Put some anime on, it's done, it's cooked, and it, you know, so I can see that, right? But then for the people who do macro auto challenges, I can see that not everyone is fortunate, like, you know, most people who make games or YouTubers who can drop thousands of dollars on a unit that they really want, right? Because, you know, not everyone's fortunate like that. So I can see why people invested into a advanced image detector to be able to somewhat compete with those pay-to-win players, you know? So like, I don't know if I already done said it, but like, I'm just indifferent about the situation. It's just whatever. When I can admit I macro, but I macro for like green essence stones, or I think I macro portals. Yeah, I did macro portals. I macro boss rushers all the time, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Hey, Valky, if you watching this, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Hey, check this out, bro. Hey, every Tuesday, I done got so good at this. It takes about 2 hours to get all 40 reels, bro. And I'm gone. That's what I'm touching about it, bro. All right, let me stop talking about this. I do macros. I can see why, you know, that. But so now there's some confusion. There's anger going on within the Discord server. You can probably see it right now if you go through it. A lot of people are mad. They're upset. They feel betrayed. You know, their favorite game is nerfing something that a lot of people take seriously, because when 2x, you know, turns on, I'm pretty sure a majority of the player base turns on that macro and they go crazy, bro. They go get those rerolls, you know what I'm saying? But so I like I said, I can really see both sides of the party, you know. The devs are just trying to make it even for everyone, for those who macro and those who play the game legit. I can see why that's a thing. Then I really can't complain because AV has always been very lenient and very generous with their rerolls, right? Pretty much all the content in the game grants you rerolls. Actually, hold on. Story, infinites, raids, dungeons, boss rushes, odyssey, tournaments, world lines, portals for the currency, legend stages with the fate one. Yeah, bro, pretty much. Yeah. So it's pretty lenient. Like, I mean, all I can say is GG's, bro. GG. But I think, let me rephrase that. I think they nerfed it to 12 a day, but for 2x it makes it 24. So I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I don't know. It's one of those two numbers, all right? If I get confirmation from like one of the devs, I will update it in my pinned comments. But let me know you guys' thoughts, man, because I kind of feel bad for the Vanguards, But in a sense of a way, we really can't be mad. And if they announced it publicly, the Discord server got shut down. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of these tower defense games, they are starting to buckle down on those rerolls, man. And it may last in just nerfs the only viable methods to farm rerolls, right? I don't like and it may last in, bro. ALS, the game that gives you infinite, the game that you can infinitely farm rerolls in, nerfs the way you get rerolls. Another tower defense game that's been on the horizon, it's Anime Rangers X. They really can't make up their mind. They don't know if they want to keep things like this or like this or like that or like that or like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not putting shade on the game, but they don't know if they want us to get rerolls or not. At the end of the day, bro, all I can say about this is that I will continue to play AV. Now, if the moment they make rerolls scarce, like I'm finding resources in a zombie apocalypse game, like I'm playing The Last of Us on Grounded, I'm dropping a diss track. I don't care. Other than that, bro, I gotta get back to making videos, bro. All right. Again, let me know your thoughts down below, bro. This is like this shadow nerf was low-key crazy, bro. Rip to the macro players that farm rerolls, man. All I can say is, bro, it's time to run that bag up. Become a developer of some sort. Farm Robux. I don't know, bro. GG's.